am I smart enough to read this book? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to if you're new. My name's Colby. I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a reading update. As some of you may know that have seen my shorts, I started on Alchemized. I went to Walmart and did a little mini haul. I don't know about your Walmart, but mine normally is like out of books. So I try my hardest to go when they've restocked, and I got lucky this time. I normally go to Second and Charles for my books, but we live an hour and a half away, and sometimes it's just not feasible for me to travel that far, so I just went to Walmart this time. So for my little reading update, I have been reading Alchemized for 3 days now, I believe. I am on page 550. There are over 1,000 pages in this book. If you have not read it yet, it's a very long book. But I don't know about you, but I always take the sleeve off because when I'm reading it, I don't want to have to fumble back and forth with the sleeve, keeping it on and feeling it move. It's just, this is a highly talked about book. You've probably seen it all over the place, which is what made me want to read it, because it was highly talked about. A lot of people were like, it ripped my heart out, it tore up my soul, and so I was like, yes, I want to read this book. And so far, I'm only halfway through, and I already feel like I've read 3 books. Like, there is so much that happens. It's ridiculous. And there's also 3 parts. There's part 1, part 2, and part 3. I'm currently in part 2. And there's no happiness. There's no happiness at all. And at first I was like, am I smart enough to read this book? Am I smart enough? Because it was just alchemy, you know, necromancy, like all this science stuff. And it's so much lore packed into it. And I'm like trying to follow, and I'm like going back and forth, like, I forgot what this meant. What does this mean? What does this mean? But once I got kind of past that first little bit to where I was like, what is happening? I started enjoying the story a lot more, I think, because at first it was very confusing. I was very confused, but I kept pushing through. I saw a lot of people say that they just kind of stopped reading it. They got bored. They couldn't finish it. But I have a hard time focusing on things and keeping my brain focused, but I don't say that with this book. I don't think I've had a hard time focusing. Actually, like, yesterday, I don't think I did anything but read this book. I was in the opposite of a reading slump. I could not do anything but read. And it was like, that's all I could do yesterday, is just sit there and read the book. So if you're someone who likes that dark fantasy kind of stuff, like where it's gloomy, there's not really any happiness, this is a good book for you. You just got to get past all the lore and all that part of it, because that part does feel a little tedious, but just push through it, because so far I've really enjoyed this story. It's very, I don't even know what you call it. Like, there's just so much that happens. Like I said, I feel like I've read 3 books already, and I'm only halfway through, and my brain hurts sometimes after reading it, because I feel like I'm just taking so much information at once. It's definitely not, I wouldn't call it an easy read. Kind of like The Night and the Moth. That one was such an easy read for some reason. It was very like poetic, it was beautiful. It was like you just flowed through the pages. This one, I don't feel like I'm flowing as much as I did with other books, because there's just so much that happens. And the poor FMC, like, it makes me just want to like cry for her. She's going through it, let me tell you. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but she goes through it. She goes through it. It's very hard to read, and just she has so much that happens to her, so much that's expected of her, and it really does break your heart for the FMC. But I have enjoyed what I've read so far. I'm nervous for the ending because most people, like, at the end they're like bawling their eyes out and like they just are not functioning afterwards. So I'm like terrified, especially with what I've read so far. I'm like, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? I can't do it. But I would not call this book boring by no means. There's just so much that happens that you really have to pay attention. You really have to pay attention. I mean, like, every little detail, every person that's mentioned, you have to pay attention to them because it's like, you'll see. I have enjoyed what I've read so far. I really have, and I am looking forward to the ripping out my heart that could possibly be happening at the end. I'm not sure. All right, these are the books that I got at Walmart. It is a mini haul because you know, your girl's broke, so I mean, like, you know. First up, I got A Vow in Vengeance, and it's about tarot cards and magic. And it says, you want power, prove it. You want magic, take it. I've seen a lot of people talk about this on shorts and like Facebook reels. There's a lot of positive, and so I'm really excited. And I love the blue and the gold. I think it's so pretty. But the FMC is Rune Riker. And it looks like the MMC may be called Prince Draven. We'll see. I've never read anything that deals with like tarot cards or things like that, so I'm very interested to see what that entails. And it does look like this is the first book in a series. It's book 1 in the Mortal Desires series, so I need to see if there's a second one and when it's going to come out. Like, we'll see. The next book I grabbed, I've also seen a lot of this one, but I really fell in love with the artwork on it, so that's kind of why I picked it up. The only time I've really seen this book is when people are holding it and talking, so I don't know much about it, but I did fall in love with the artwork. I think it's so beautiful, and it is hollow. Look how beautiful that is. And then the dragon, oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. It's just, the artwork is just absolutely, hold on, let me take the sleeve off. The artwork is just so beautiful inside of it. Oh, and look at the printed edges. That is just gorgeous. So like, that alone, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I did. It looks beautiful. So I'm really excited to see what it's about. It says, don't listen to the whisper of the woods. Don't trust the man cloaked in shadow. Don't earn the wrath of the scattered spirits, and don't go out after dark. It looks like maybe the FMC is Ferris Creed, and then the MMC maybe Prince Bane. It says the great hunt begins once every 50 years. The only champions willing to face death shatter the curse dare to enter. The champions and me. Really excited. Oh, it's beautiful. The last book that I had gotten in my mini haul is this one. There's a girl that I like to watch her videos. I love her book recommendations. That Girl Reads. I see her on Facebook a lot, and she is the reason why I bought this book. So I'm really hoping that it is as good as she says it is. We Who Will Die. It's bow before the god of ruin. Survive the arena, save my brothers, kill the emperor. 2 vampires stand between me and my mission. One who shattered my heart, one who torments me at court. Let the games begin. Ooh. Oh, look. It's got a map. I love when authors give me a map, because even though, like, when I read, I can, like, it's like a movie in my head. I can see the things that I'm reading, but sometimes a map helps. You know, a map helps. That's beautiful. It looks like the story follows the FMC is Arvel. That's an interesting name. And then maybe the MMC is Rorik. This one seems pretty interesting. It's about vampires. I haven't read anything about vampires, like vampires alone, in a very long time. Quicksilver contained obviously vampires, but This one looks like it's mostly like a vampire world, so that's exciting. It says kill or be killed. Beautiful. All right, guys, that is all for today. Once I finish Alchemized, I will do a full review of it to tell you what I thought, my personal feelings with it. And if you've read it or have read any of these, I would love to hear your thoughts and your feedback as well. Stay tuned for my next video where we are going to be looking at some of the most unhinged fourth wing theories. I'm talking like, how did they come up with these? Thank you so much for staying and watching, and bye.